Hey class. All right. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas break. I'm sure it probably felt like it flew by. I hope you got lots of great things. You got to spend time with people that you love. But now it's time to get back to business for this first week of virtual as we get back to school. All right. This week we start week 16, talking about Alabama after the Reconstruction. So by the end of the week, we're going to be able to explain the changes that happened in society in Alabama during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Okay, so what exactly happened after the Reconstruction? Now remember, the Reconstruction is that time period of rebuilding after the Civil War in Alabama. So the time after the Reconstruction was really difficult and unsettling for all Americans, but especially Southerners. Now, why do you think it would be more difficult for Southerners? What do you think? Yeah, probably because they lost the war and their economy took the biggest hit. Okay, remember their governments got stripped away from them and they had to have martial law and they had to earn it back, and it was a big mess for the South. Within a year after the war ended, Alabama was already ready to rejoin the United States. But of course, why wouldn't they want to? They were struggling so much. Why would they not want to rejoin the part of the country that was doing better? Our leaders did agree to end slavery. They wrote a new constitution and they elected new officials instead of appointing them. However, Congress still said no. So they were unhappy. Congress was unhappy because the new officials were Confederate leaders they had been Confederate leaders in the Civil War, and because the new Constitution did not give African Americans the right to vote. So the leaders from the North decided that they are going to take charge of the reconstructing state. So they sent down federal troops to Alabama along with some other Southern states. And then under martial law, African Americans were encouraged to vote. So that was a good thing that came out of it. During this time, Alabama's Constitution was rewritten and included these things. Women were given more rights. However, they were still not given the right to vote. So remember, we talked about, I think it was in week 13 or week 14, we talked about how women were not viewed as citizens. They did not count when you were counting the population to become a new state. They did not, the things that they owned did not belong to them anymore once they got married. Once they got married, that everything that they had was property of their husband. They didn't have a whole lot of rights. But now with this new constitution, they were given more rights, but they still weren't allowed to vote. That was one right they did not have yet. African American men were given the right to vote. Remember, women still don't have the right to vote, especially not African American women. So African American men were given the right to vote. Poor people's taxes were lowered, which is good, because if you don't make a lot of money and your people are taxing your money that is already not a lot, when you lowered their taxes, that was very helpful because that allowed them to keep more of their income for their family. State officials had to be elected and not appointed. So I couldn't just say, okay, I want you to be a ruler, I want you to be a governor, you to be a mayor, you to be the president. No, you had to put it to a vote. They had to be elected, not appointed. All righty, and that is going to wrap it up for today. Please make sure you are checking your folders daily for assignments. Remember, you can open up one tab with this slide in it and one tab with the assignment in it to make it easier for you. Have a great day, and we will be back for day 2 tomorrow. See you then, guys.